the freeboard land. Yeah. So memang macam tu lah.
Ya ke?
Wife says, kena balik lah bang. Balik lah.
You balik lah. Your background cantik lah. Is that real your photo? Because it looks damn good, man.
This is in Malaysia, no? You know, you go to many of the small towns by the coast kan, dia ada jetty semua kan.
Yeah.
Habis kita ambil kamera, kita pakai apa tu yang boleh kita boleh apa tu, kita boleh scan punya tu.
Oh, lens. Okay.
Bukan lens, apa tu kata? Kamera tu ada satu feature kan, kalau kita klik kan, dan kita boleh tarik, kita imbas ke sebelah tu, klik dan dua jadi satu gambar tu. Tu yang elok tu. So I get like a wide angle 5% fish.
Oh, right on. I jealous sebab makes me want to go for holiday like right now. Tuan Syed, how are you?
Okay, alhamdulillah. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good. Today is a bit, orang kata apa, berkabut in my hood. Berkabut. Where are you logging from?
No, I'm in Sri Kemangan.
Oh, okay.
I notice you from far.
One side stalker banyak orang tu.
Yeah, I notice kita punya puan ni from far. What she's doing and all those things. I did little bit down business intelligence. What?
Takut.
That before my area. I always dig something to see what are the area. Cuma, yalah, we have a good pool of people around us. Cuma the opportunity tak timbul, you know?
Yalah. Well, I'm glad that you are here with me today, joining my very good friend Nazrin. Dia pun cikgu ai. Cikgu ni.
Dia yang bagi the link kat I apa semua.
Alah, dia walaupun masih lagi 25 tapi anak-anak murid dia ramai cukup.
Oh, ramai.
Nazrin, you forever 25 good.
Alhamdulillah.
Oh, look, Nazrin is here. Assalamualaikum. Nazrin, good for you to join us.
Waalaikumsalam.
Oh, ingat.
Another Nazrin, female version.
Yes, another Nazrin. Tapi yang ni kalau I nak WhatsApp kan, I got to be careful, you know, because dia dekat-dekat Nazrin and Nazrin. Naz, apa cerita you? Lama tak dengar. I say follow you je.
Oh, okay. Alhamdulillah, well and alive. Still updating all my program plans for 2023. Hibernate je lah sekejap because my dad recently passed away kan. So now I'm back on my daily activities. Alhamdulillah, on the go.
Itulah, kita tak jumpa-jumpa lagi.
Kan, kena cepat-cepat booking date ni.
Itulah. Now the thing is that, you know, during the pandemic, I met so many new friends, like so many new friends, and sampailah sekarang ni tak jumpa lagi, tapi good friends. Macam Naz ni my good friend, tapi tak pernah jumpa lagi. Macam mana? Nah, tak pernah jumpa kan kita kan?
Tak pernah, belum pernah lagi. InsyaAllah, soon. Nanti lepas ni kita boleh WhatsApp, fix date and time.
Abang Kenny ni dah 3 tahun tak jumpa, tak pernah jumpa.
Kenny, where are you logging from? Alamak, sorry, tak dengar lah you. Bunyi angin.
Mic tak ada bunyi.
Kenny, tak dengar mic.
Mikrofon macam on, tapi it's not connected or something.
Yeah. Maybe sebab tepi pantai kan?
Angin dah bawa suara.
Angin dah bawa suara dia.
Tak dengar kan ni? Tak dengar.
Nasib baik founder VLC tak dekat sini. Kalau tidak.
Alah Kenny.
Still tak ada.
Dengar.
Okay, macam ni.
Tak apa.
Disconnect your mic, unmute and mute balik. Mute and unmute. Kalau tak boleh, tak you what do you call apa dia panggil? Leave computer audio and
Yeah.
then reconnect.
Cik Nadzrin terror lah.
Tak ada.
Dah ini dia punya bread and
Kita
butter.
WhatsApp Allah.
Itu
Dia-
hari I pun sama juga. Tak ada. Tutup sana tutup. Oh ada.
There's one. The other way is log off, log back in.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
That would be the thing lah. Okay, so I'm just looking at time. I think we have a few more people coming in, but so this is already recorded. So make sure jangan pegang apa-apa yang tak patut lah. Recording anyway. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us this morning. This is our fourth Ask Me Anything, fourth edition. We have already started a couple of weeks ago, and usually hari Isnin. I punya session ni sebenarnya hari Isnin, setiap hari Isnin from 12 o'clock until 1 o'clock. However, because our cikgu ni, si Nazrin ni, hari Isnin dia tak ada. Jadinya, I make an executive concession to change from Monday kepada Wednesday to accommodate Nazrin punya schedule. So hari ni sangat special. Sebab I tak pernah tukar macam tu, Nazrin. Dia selalu hari Isnin. Kau ada, kau tak ada.
Thank you.
No worries, no worries. Just a few things. I figured that today's topic is very, very crucial for many of us, not only for the young ones who are coming out from the university, but more so for many who are, at a certain stage of life, who are also planning to make a comeback to the world of work. We have quite a number of on-call careers, professionals who are coming back, where they kind of having to go through the mandatory retirement age, 55 or 60 years old, but having tough times to make a comeback with impact for many, many reasons. I think that's where some of the topics that I wanted to discuss with Nazrin today, and with all of you, perhaps to shed some light. I know 1 hour may not be enough, tapi tak apa, we create the conversation, we follow through later on. If it makes sense to anyone else, hey, you know what, we've done something good today. So before we start with Nazrin, I just wanted to share a few things here. Excuse me.
Okey dah.
Nazrin, gambar you ni cantik lah. Memang gambar you.
Masalah,
Trademark you.
I need to go for a new photo shoot. People are complaining. I look too young in the photo, and not as in real life.
Oh, yeah, but that's a good one. Now, coming back to what I've just shared kan, about skills for the future ni some of the information I gathered for the past few months, which I think is very, very important. The reskilling needs. Dia kata, 50% of all employees will need reskilling by 2025. But Nazrin, remember when you were running the VLC a couple of years ago, when during the start of the pandemic, you know it. And many of us actually jumped into the program because we knew it. So 2025 isn't that far kot. Another 2 tahun je lagi, kan? And 40% of current workers' core skills are expected to change in the next 5 years. I think it is already showing. I've also gathered a quick information here about the top 10 skills of 2025. What is required here, it says in 2015, there were things like, quality control, service orientation and all that. But looking ahead for top 10 skills of 2025, a few of it is technology use, monitoring and control. I think you have championed this or making a lead more so from everyone else for a couple of years in advance. I think you've done that. Technology, design and programming. And what about this in 2030? Dia kata deductive reasoning, originality, you know, these are some of the words that I've heard before, but it's coming back and it's coming back more. Kan? So, you know, these are some of the major consideration, I think, you know, like I mentioned, even for the young ones and the not so young ones to learn and to stay relevant lah. Okay, so that would be the preamble. Nazrin, I wanted to have you today, you know, and talk about all of this for a very good reason. Number one, I think you are about one of the very few who is leading this, you know, kind of predicting the future lah. I don't know how you did that, but you did. So who is Nazrin? Come share with us. I know some of us will know you, but for the benefit of others who still don't know who Nazrin is. Cerita sikit. Who is Nazrin? You there?
Gugup.
I am.
Ke gugup.
I don't know what happened. Just said
Ah,
you
you
know what
saying-
happened?
You can start by
Okay.
saying Nazrin is not KJ.
Hey, tall, dark, and handsome. Okay, Nazrin, who is Nazrin? For the benefit of those who still haven't fallen in love with you yet.
Amboi.
Okay. Hello, everyone watching on the internet everywhere. I have a couple of friends who are sitting next to me. So if you hear laughing in the background, it's because they're laughing at what I'm going to say to you. Thank you, Hani, for inviting me. I'm not sure whether what I can have to offer to you is what the audience expects. I'll say that up front. I have a different perspective on what we're going to talk about today, which means that when I introduce myself, it will also be slightly from a different perspective. So, my name is Nazrin. I used to be a full-time professional learning facilitator and a part-time father. And now I am a full-time father and a part-time professional learning facilitator. And even though I spend more hours outside of the house doing training, doing workshops and things like that, but the focus is very, very clear for me. I know why I'm doing it. I know where I'm doing it. So even though I spend technically, statistically less hours with my family, but the focus is there, the prioritization is there. I know exactly why I'm doing it. Because once upon a time, when I was employed, it was about the work. And I did. Some people who are like this, we enjoy the work more than we enjoy the family. We tend to stay a little longer at the office and then dread going home because of, interactions that you don't want to happen and stuff like that. But then the idea is that you have to realize that one day you're doing something wrong, right? And you have to constantly be aware of whether the choices you make every single day are good for your future or not. So that being said, that's a very short introduction, but I think I know what you're looking for. You want to know what my career path has been. So I graduated from UIA, University Islam Antarabangsa, with a degree in communication. And I had two loves. I really had two loves. I love writing and I love martial arts, specifically Silat. So my degree in communication was focused on journalism, which means I wanted to become a journalist. I wanted to become a writer. I wanted to join a newspaper or magazine or something like that. But because I love Silat, and in Malaysia, there's only one magazine that is a martial arts magazine. So I got to marry both loves and I became a journalist and then later on editor for the only martial arts magazine in Malaysia, still around. It's called Seni Bela Diri. And I worked there for about 7 years. In fact, while I was studying. So while I was in university, I was already out there. And interesting, what I learned in journalism in university is nothing to do with what was being practiced out there. Yeah. And that gave me my first culture shock. Like, hang on, they're teaching us theoretical stuff, but when in
Yes.
real life, there's something very different, which
Correct.
later informed me when I was a trainer. It informed the difference between theory and actual practice, actual skills, the skills transfer. So very early on, I recognized there's a difference between theory and practice. So 7 years as a journalist, ask your journalist friends. It's not a very well-paid industry. So I decided to move on into something called knowledge management. And in knowledge management, I help companies write their SOPs, their job aids, their manuals, their standard operating procedures. We did business process mapping. We redesigned processes. If you can imagine a factory that has SOPs, but it's all bullet points. So how do you do that? And we asked them, how do you use this document? They said, nobody uses it. We just write it down.
So what? It's all here? It's all here?
And that's what knowledge management is about. The knowledge is in the minds of the people, but as the people age or they fall sick or they die or they leave the organization, then you don't have that documentation. And one big case study for knowledge management is the fact that NASA from America cannot go back to the moon because they forgot to write down all of the calculations they made when they sent the Apollo missions out. Back then it was all on blackboards, and then somebody forgot to document it, it was all gone.
And
So
that's it.
20 years back again, right? So knowledge management is very important in organizations because you need to be able to document it in such a way where people understand it fast. And that's what I did for a couple of years. And then I skipped on a couple of short career journeys. I did public relations, I did marketing, which was had to do with my degree. Yeah,
but you didn't stay. Why not? Why not?
It wasn't fun. Okay, the public relations people are going to get triggered, but I was writing news releases every day that were not true. I'll stop there.
Okay. Okay.
So while I was doing knowledge management, a company called Accenture headhunted me. They contacted me. They said, "Would you like to join our learning center?" And then I said, "Where's the learning center?" And they said, "It's in Putrajaya." I live in Rawang. That's 70 kilometers away. So I go, maybe not. But they say, come and see. So I went for the interview. I shouldn't have gone. I went for the interview. I fell in love with the company. I fell in love with the setup. And I was with Accenture for 7 years. And I say chronologically 7 years, but it feels like 14 years because I worked 12 hours, sometimes 17-hour days, 7 days a week. Because it was a learning center, 70 kilometers. So I need to make sure that the courses would start at 8 a.m. American style, which means I need to be there by 7, which means I need to leave the house by 5 or 6. Right? And at the end of every day, we do the recap, we do the SWOT with the faculty, with the instructors. By the time I leave the office, it's 8:30. So I leave the house, my kids are asleep. I leave the office, I reach home, my kids are asleep. 7 days a week, multiple months on for 7 years. So it was.
tak pindah je.
I tried. I almost tried, but then nasib baik because the office, the learning center moved to KL.
Oh, nasib baik.
So I cut my journey from 70 kilometers, 140 kilometers daily.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow,
so
that's
quite a lot of minutes just explaining that. I'll cut to the chase, and 2015 I left the organization, and I decided to be a freelance trainer. So for now I'm in my 7.5 years now out in the wilderness. I've been unemployed for 7 years, but have had some moderate success, alhamdulillah, with my training programs, with public training programs, serving not just clients but also the trainer community. And that's pretty much that, unless you want to know anything more.
Guys, do you want to ask more from Nazrin? Apa lagi nak tahu?
Quite a few people in this room already know me.
7.5 years. But what makes you, I always say this, and some of the successful people, they have the ability to kind of predict based on whatever analysis they do. It might be through just observation or something like that. But so sorry guys, you know, for those of you yang bukan VLC, I speak about my VLC certification with passion, simply because I think it's one of the greatest thing ever been created after a slice of bread. Okay, so seriously. and to say that, you know, I've been in the industry for the longest time, but with the VLC it's just so different, so different. So coming back to what I wanted to ask you is this, you know, it's almost like you have kind of see it coming, you know. It's a skill that is required to help so many, you know, throughout the 2.5 years, 3 years. So what was the what pushed you to do that, to run the first batch or batches of VLC?
Okay,
And,
I'm going to disappoint you heavily right now. So I want everyone to remember these words. Everyone watching this, remember these words: head start. Head start. So in Accenture was the company that I worked for in Accenture Learning. Back then there were 500,000 staff. Now there's 800,000. And back then, when I left, when I left in 2015, globally they were spending 800 million USD just on learning and development, which means they really put in a lot of money into their assets for your people. And how do you train 500,000 people? That's mad. They only had 5 learning centers globally. KL was the regional learning center for this area, which means that they needed to implement virtual learning, which is called VI, Virtual Instructor-Led Training. A horrible, horrible name, but they did nonetheless. So I was onboarded to virtual learning in 2011. I joined the company in 2008, but I was already learning online in 2008. It was only in 2011 that they enabled a lot of us to be able to do it. But the technology was terrible. It was terrible. They use Centra, they use Microsoft Link, and no webcams because it messed up. The bandwidth was not strong enough, right? And that's how in the VLC you have the concept of the radio voice.
Yes.
Right? You had to be able to, without the camera on, influence people using your voice. Right?
He's showing it off. You show off.
So it's not that Nazrin was so smart to be able to do this. It's just that I had a head start. Everybody calls it the new norm, but they did not realize that large organizations were practicing long before that. We were doing conference calls backwards and forwards, 3 a.m. We were doing virtual calls. It was considered the norm for huge MNCs, JLCs, and big companies. So when pandemic hit, companies like Accenture had no issues. Like, okay, we just continue the way we do things now. But what I wanted to introduce was to be able to bring a lot of the stuff that's not available to the public is available to consulting companies. Right? Consulting companies sell to their clients for big chunk of money. They don't realize they just taught those methodologies to the clients can run on their own. So when the pandemic hit, I was already running virtual classes because I was I missed it when I left Accenture 2015. I missed running the virtual classes, so I just running on my own for free, 16 and 17, just for free, just for fun. And there's a group called the PLF family, the Professional Learning Facilitator family, that knew that I was doing very well, very much of this. So when the pandemic hit, a lot of my friends started clearing out their calendars or having their calendars cleared out for them, including me. And they came to me and said, Nazrin, we need help. Can you please teach us? Because clients, they're clearing out calendars, but they want us to teach online and we don't know how to do it. And I dare say, right? There are some VLCs in the room. It's not that they don't know how to do it. There was an emotional barrier. We are scared to do it.
Agree.
So in order to be able to just show you is not enough. We needed to help the trainers overcome the emotional barrier. So what I did very quickly was I said, okay, let's do this. Let's run it. And with the first group of 40 people, we ran the VLC and it was fantastic. We loved it so much. And I thought, okay, done and dusted, my job's done. Then suddenly I get a call from the Malaysian Institute of Management The CEO, Mr. Siva, says, we want you to train 33 people. And I go, tell me more about them. And he says, these are all 50-year-old and 60-year-old trainers. And I go, what? So I started panicking. And then Anita's here, so I managed to get the best top students from VLC first batch and upskill them. They didn't need to be upskilled. I just prepped them.
Sure.
They helped me run 2 cycles simultaneously. 40 people in the morning, 40 people at night, which means that cycle came very, very close together. And within 2 months, we produced 120 new VLC certified people.
Macam rabbits.
Macam rabbits, literally macam rabbits.
I was like,
because 120 people means 120, and this was a certification, which means it's skills based, which means there are assignments. That's 120 assignments times 6. Every person had to do 6 assignments plus 1 webinar. That's 7. So we were going through all of those assignments. 120 times 7, you multiply it. That's
mind-boggling.
That's how much we were just checking, giving scores and things like that.
Yeah. Nazrin, I understand that day I nampak, if I'm not mistaken, kan, you say you have how many WhatsApp groups?
80. I have 80 WhatsApp groups. I'm administrating because they are all alumni of former. And by the way, I do 30-day free online coaching on WhatsApp groups, which means after 30 days, I close the WhatsApp groups now.
Yes.
Still 80 that are still running.
Tapi still 80. Right now pun I admin something like 5. Dulu selalu about 15, like that, 15, 18. That was max lah. And then I decided no, cannot. So when I read that you have 80 WhatsApp group, I don't know how you handle it. Sebab I sekarang ni bila I tengok the messages coming in, I anxiety.
Well, you see, so in the WhatsApp groups, we don't mentor, we coach.
Yes.
So whenever we have a good question we ask, I just put into one and I copy over all the other WhatsApp groups, and then there's 80 discussions going on at the same time. And if you notice, how come Nazrin writes so many things on Facebook? Where do I get the ideas? I get it from their discussions lah. Right? So it's
now coming to the rise of the AI baru 2-3 bulan ni kan, it's such a big blast, such a big bang, and I was talking to a few friends the other day about the rise of this type of technology, the AI. Somebody was saying matilah, all these writers tak dapat makan lah. And even in my career coaching groups as well, some of my friends were saying, sudahlah, tak, nanti career coaches tak ada job lagi, because all you need to do is just ask that question.
Yep.
So I do have some thoughts lah about it, kan. And I find one of the things is that I find that technology is a tool. It's a tool for us, the human beings, to help us to be more efficient, and so that we can do more things that matter more, instead of the administrative part and all that. So that's my point lah. But some of my friends or circle of friends think otherwise. So there's always the fear of technology. Jadi I find that very disturbing, because we started to have this fear, and bila dia ada fear, kita ada barrier. But what do you think? And you were talking about cross writing between all the groups. Now nak cari topik pun dah senang. All you need to do is just type.
Yep. What's the question? What's the actual question?
Yeah, so the question here is this. So going back to your program dulu macam VLC and all that, there was also the fear, okay? For the technology, so it's not about the experience, but the fear of using the technology for whatever reason. So in this context right now, in the current situation, you are moving forward with a few other programs. So I know that. But what do you think, what have you picked up from the industry or from the people that you have engaged in terms of this fear of using technology or new knowledge whatsoever?
All right, I'm going to go to fundamentals. We go back to basics.
Okay,
Yeah?
sure.
Everyone who's sitting down in front of your laptop, in front of your phone, look at your laptop right now, and some of you are looking into the camera, right? Once upon a time, someone was holding that camera, which means now that cameraman has lost his job. You have a calendar in somewhere.
Yes.
Somebody was updating that calendar for you, and now that secretary lost the job. Yeah.
Correct.
Typing your letters, and now there's a template for you to fill in. That means your finance person, your people have lost their jobs. Is that true? No, it's just that they used to do that, and now it's fully automated. I read somewhere that houses are now built smaller because they no longer need to house big objects. They don't have big, we used to have big TVs. Now we just have flat screen TVs. You don't need that much space. So the idea is change will always happen, definitely. But the one thing that does not change is the human being. So I'm going back to fundamentals. And if you ask me, I mean, the whole point of today's conversation is what skills that you need to have to master. These are fundamental skills. I can rattle them off, of course, but I'd say number one is agility. The ability to learn fast, the ability to explore, the ability to remain curious. And I might trigger a few people when I say this. When I left Accenture, what I did was I didn't know the market. Imagine in-house trainers know nothing about the outside training market. They might pretend, oh, when I come out, I make a lot of money. But it took a whole year of due diligence. I spoke, I keep repeating the story. I spoke to 150 trainers, training providers, and clients over a span of 1 year to understand what is that market out there like. So based on that information, I went out to the market. I prepared, but I was not ready. Suffered a couple of years. I use the word suffered. Learned a couple of years.
Tapi memang suffer kot.
Belajarlah for a couple of years within the B40 category. My wife still remembers us looking for coins under the just to pay for toll. Right? Self-employed, like self-employed.
Yeah, self-employed.
But the idea is that you need information. Information combats fear. The more information you have, the more right information you have, the less fear you'll have. So if you are scared of even collecting information, you're not going to go forward, right? Oh, I know nothing about AI. You don't need to think about AI.
Kan, I tak tahu apa pun.
What you need to know about AI is already available on the net. Just go, what is AI? And then you read lah. If you're not a reader, go to YouTube, find a video, what is AI? Someone will explain to you. Tak boleh. Felix Day is on Facebook. He says, I'm running a webinar on what is AI. Anybody want to join? 183 people have signed up. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you're not friends with Felix Day, right? So go find this guy, Felix Day. He's running a webinar tonight. 183 people have signed up. How to use AI in your trainings.
Tu dia. Take note.
Yeah, go find him. Felix Tay, T-A-Y. He's doing it for free. Now the idea is this. We have everything in front of us, something we didn't have in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the olds. But we're becoming more scared because there's too many things out there. So number one is agility. Number two is the ability to focus, to prioritize, to choose. What is important to do first? So I don't know whether Hani was expecting me to rattle off the list of skills that we need, like critical thinking, creative thinking, all of that. No.
I think kena lah kot. Itu memang wajib. Tu wajib.
But fundamentals is, right, if you have less fear, that means you move first. If you move first, there are other people who are scared, they move slower than you. So if you move faster than them, you respond faster, you learn faster, you do faster, they get left behind. You are in the run. VLC is not fantastic, to be fair. There are people out there who have never taken the VLC certification, they're teaching online. Right? Yeah. What happened was we were first. We were fast. That's it. Yeah, that's it. So the idea is, I picked up a philosophy from Accenture in that what we innovate so fast that by the time our clients arrive, we have
Mm.
moved on to something else.
Yeah, and we're quite ready for them already. I think that is also kan Nazrin is the fear of this, and I find this quite disturbing as well lah. Some of the circle of friends, they want to innovate. Dia nak move forward. Creating new programs, something a little bit different than what others is offering, or learning new skills that no other friends or the circle agrees to for some reason, and they stop there.
What do you mean? What do you mean? They
Contohnya,
and then they get feedback who say, "Hey, don't try."
yeah, no one is going to learn this anyway, it's not going to be a trend, and then they feel like, alamak, am I the only one ke yang nampak ni? Maybe I'm wrong. And so they stop the effort. Kan, dia tak persistent. They don't trust in the kind of analysis or observation that they themselves have. So they allow the external elements to influence their decision to innovate, for example, So do you see this as a trend before this or any time? The fear.
I think that is a matter of resilience. That's a matter of, and I think Nazrin has asked a good question in the chat.
Yes.
It's a matter of being brave enough. So we come back to emotions. Being curious, being explorative, being innovative, being R&D. But if you look at companies, they don't want to do R&D, they don't want to innovate because they feel it's a waste of money. So then we go to the second what am I calling it, skill set or focus. The ability to focus on something and then spend money and time and effort experimenting. But do not experiment unless you have a steady income. Okay. Remember, I said I did not leave Accenture as is. I spent a whole year doing due diligence. So you want to redah dulu, you want to redah hutan, make sure you have a sharp knife. Make sure you have boots that are waterproof, so the pacat doesn't get in. Do your due diligence. Make sure your family eats. Then you can experiment.
Yeah. Very dangerous, kan?
You risk it all, you might lose it all. So there's two schools of thought. There are some people who they speak to their family, okay, are you willing to die with me? Okay, let's go together. But if the family says, no, we're not willing to die with you, you die alone, then bear the responsibility, okay, find the money, find the income, feed them. Okay, leaders eat last. You eat Maggie every day, never mind. Your wife, your children eats well, okay, good. Okay, or the other way around. As I say, the husband stay at home, dad. You are the working wife, right? So the idea is when you do that, you don't have that worry. What's happening to my family? But if you are experimenting and you're not feeding them, then you have two worries now. Okay, so make sure you have some sort of stability so that you can bounce off that. Okay, so we go agility, we got focus.
Yep.
Okay? And then to a practical way to solve what you just mentioned just now is anybody who tells you, oh, don't try this, is probably not within your inner circle. You need a strong inner circle, at least one BFF, who will tell you straight to your face. And when you share ideas, they don't judge those ideas. Right?
Yep. They don't kill the idea.
They don't kill the idea, but they are, natural coaches. And they're natural coaches for both positive and negative.
Mana nak cari ni, Nazrin?
Tak pandai lah. And then your natural BFF coach, how do you know you tak pandai?
Mana nak cari natural coaches ni? Where can we find one?
Bini, laki, anak, bapa, mak. Basically, if you have a BFF, you have a boyfriend. If you have a best friend, they are someone who don't judge you, right? But support you, good and bad as well. But it's someone who knows you inside and out. And I feel sad if someone does not have that.
Yeah, because I also see that sometimes because of the natural tendency of loving the immediate next person, spouse, or Anna or something like that, because the love, there's a tendency to be a little bit more protective because they have personal interest. Jadi anything that might ruin the ability to eat well, for example, dia terus zap.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be a spouse. Okay, so a BFF can also be an accountability partner. Okay, so I have two of these. One of them is my wife. So
Okay, good.
her love for me has no bearing on whether she scolds me or not. So and I have Imran. Imran, if you're watching, hello. So Imran's in Dubai. He's a business consultant who's helped me with my business. If you see Nazrin doing weird poses at the end of a class, that was his idea.
Nice.
Because
so now we know.
All the trainers I see at the end of a class, they will take photo like that.
Yalah, bigi macam robot.
Yeah. So when you scroll on Facebook, you scroll to a LinkedIn feed, and you see a lot of trainers like. Then you see one guy.
Very corporate looking.
So it is about visual branding. It's about being able to step out, and Imran helps me with that. And he's very honest with me about stuff like that.
Right,
okay?
right
so,
on, right
so
on.
First one is agility, second was focus. The third one is izinkan diri ditegur. Allow yourself.
I like that concept. I like that concept. Elaborate sikit. Can you kind of elaborate? Izinkan diri, and I know where it came from. I want to hear from you.
So one of my silat teachers is also my religious teacher, and he knows that I love to keep refreshing my Facebook to look for my likes and comments. He knows that whenever I post, he will see me on the phone, check. He said, "What are you checking?" I think ada orang comment tak. So if a Facebook post does not have any likes after a day, I'll delete it. I was a like junkie. I was a comment junkie.
Interesting.
So he slapped me hard and says, "Kau ni nafsu besar sangat."
Oh, ouch, ouch.
Before he passed away, he pointedly said, "Get the hell off Facebook because it's ruining your life." So, but he says, "Okay, if you're not going to get off Facebook, then you need to handle your ego, because trainers have egos, yeah." We stand in front of the class.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
So
to some extent.
He says to me, Nazrin, izinkan diri ditegur. Allow yourself to receive feedback. Allow yourself to be criticized. Because people who criticize you, they give free advice. Free consultation.
Humility, eh?
Yeah. Because you can't see everything. And if you can see everything, then what do you need feedback for? There are people who give. You just have to take that, and then you decide whether it's worthwhile for me to take it or not. You decide. You decide whether you want it or not. That's how you can improve, if you know what's right and what's not right from the other person's perspective. Okay? And because I work in communication, I always ask, is customer service training for?
Yes, we ask questions.
Who is it for? It's for the customer. It's not for the customer service. Who is leadership training for? It's for the followers, it's not for the leaders.
Yeah, for KPI, Nazrin. KPI. Tahun ni kita buat sekian, berapa hours. And I think that's
for parenting course. Who is parenting for? It's for the kids. It's not for the parents. So if you are someone who does stuff and you don't get feedback from your stakeholders, or you don't consider feedback from your stakeholders, then that's what happens. Consider, not accept. Consider. So how are you going to grow? That's where the feedback comes in. So agility, focus, and I don't know what to call this in English. Is in
Open
yourself up for feedback.
Yeah, I think the nearest word I can think of, one word is humility, good. Allowing yourself to be open for feedback. I don't know.
I am so not humble, so I don't know if I can use that word. But being a good service person, right? We are all service people. When we get good service at the petrol pump, at the hotel or something, we say thank you, because we appreciate other service people.
Yeah.
But if we don't do that for other people, then nobody's going to do that for us.
Yes. Yes, betul. It starts with us, kan? It starts
Yes.
with us. Mm.
So I don't know. This is, guys,
sorry, you were saying.
I don't know if this is what you came for. We started with AI, but the bigger thing we're talking about is your intelligence.
Yes.
Things will change around you. The environment will change around you, but if you don't have what it takes to change with it or use it before it uses you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. This is not a conversation. This is an old conversation. It started with coal mining and then with manufacturing and robots taking over people's jobs. But there are people with jobs. So what happened?
Yes. Yes.
You upskill. You find new ways.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think there's nothing to fear of as long as I think you punya there's a commitment to yourself to be agile. Macam katakan agile, to focus. Do you know that many years ago I started off my very first job, Nazrin, as in a resort, and I was a telephone and telex operator. I was trained as a telex operator. I bet you, a telex operator. I bet you in many of us hari ni, I bet you not many of you have ever seen a telex machine before. I was trained to use a telex machine and I was damn good at it. If I want to practice a skill today on a telex machine yang pun dah tak ada. Kan? But the same skill set that I've utilized 35 years ago, I still use it here, which is the ability to learn, to learn something new. I was, fresh from school. Next thing you know, you see this humongous machine. Yeah, you pernah tengok tak telex machine? Anyone here have ever seen a telex machine? Oh, Nas was from the bank. Have seen telex machine. Tuan Syed pun have seen the telex machine. Cik Lokman, have you ever seen a telex machine before?
Not really, no.
Cik Lokman muda lagi.
I was old enough, but I did not have that opportunity to see the machine. I heard of telex. I see the telex number on papers, but I've not seen the machine.
Yeah. So, it's I think like what you say lah, Nazrin, the agility, I think one of the skills that we must have, even with the rise of technology lah, with the AI and all that, semua orang takut that they might lose something. At the point of time, I think, when I shifted my job from hospitality to another role, it never occurred to my mind that whatever that I've learned 35 years ago might not be useful. Actually, no, it's just, you move, right? Dulu stenographer. Everybody was looking.
Oh, wait. You remember that uncle sitting outside of JPJ or under the tree with a typewriter?
Yeah. It's still useful tau. Ada.
Petition writer.
Petition writer.
Masih ada lagi.
Small town ada lagi lah.
Ada kan. Dia duduk dekat luar JPJ ke pejabat tanah. Pejabat tanah.
I'll give you a fourth one.
Apa dia?
Change is the great filter. Change is the great filter. There were trainers. Belum sampai lagi nombor 4 ni. There were trainers and lecturers who were raised on OHPs. When PowerPoint came along, 50% of them said, screw this, I'm not learning how to use a computer just to do slides.
Wow.
So 50% of them died out. The other 50% tried and learned PowerPoint. Okay, can make like PowerPoint. Right? Then virtual learning came. And 50% said, screw this, I'm not learning how to do this online. And 50% survived.
Yeah, and they waited and waited.
So the number 4, we got agility, we got focus, we got feedback. The fourth one is redha lah. Learn to let go. Do not be sentimental to things you have built, your legacy, because products will go out of fashion. People will not want to buy stuff anymore. We have not sold a VLC in months. Who cares? If we have not sold a VLC in months, it means that we've done a good job already. Nobody needs it. Because
Yes. So you need to refresh.
move on, create a new product or
Yeah.
readjust. So I'll tell you what we're doing VLC. We are now
Yeah.
repackaging VLC to be learn how to be an international instructor, teach from
There you
where,
go.
right? And we'll package it with the marketing. How do you sell your courses online, and how do you have an
Yes.
international audience?
Yeah.
But it has to be something that only you have, that the Westerners don't.
Yeah. Refresher. A refresher. Pakai baju baru, you know?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Of course, with some fresh content.
repackage it, remarket it. But the idea is, don't be sentimental to your legacy. The
Agree.
legacy is past. Okay, create new things. Learn to let go.
Agree.
So-
And
so
I
when-
think that's one of the hardest part, Nazrin. That's one
Yeah.
of the hardest part. Learning to let go. Actually, I've written it down. Learning to let go.
I'll
is
say everyone, because Hani has said it for us, kan, that's the hardest part, to let go, kan? So
Yeah,
I would
betul.
say, don't let go. Be sentimental to whatever you're doing. Sit there and complain, because the rest of us are moving on. Bye.
Bye.
You can come with us, or you sit there and we will succeed, because there has to be someone who succeeds and fails. So please
Of
be the
course,
one who fails,
Yeah.
because we're moving on.
Yeah. Bye.
Sorry. Hopefully that challenges the people listening in. But the idea
Yeah.
is you get what you do, right? So if you
Yes.
do things that are building,
Yeah.
you get the build.
Yeah.
If you do things
Yeah.
that destroy, then welcome to your life, lah. That's what you get.
Yeah. It's a choice, isn't it? It's a choice. Just like during the pandemic, you know, when you said 50% decided not to explore new skills, kan? Because they
Amira,
waited.
feels
Ada
like that.
ramai. They waited and they waited, thinking that it might the lockdown might last for 2 weeks. We know it didn't last 2 weeks. It lasted 3 years. It lasted 3 years, man.
So you are asking me how, and I'm not a very good coach, but I'm a good realist. If they say, "Oh, susah," you say, "Betul susah." For you susah, for me susah. So
You
look like you're not
tanya
coming with
sana.
us. Tak apalah, kita jalan dulu.
Betul lah tu. Sometimes the truth hurts.
And sometimes people need to be hurt. But the idea is this, right? So again, I don't know whether everyone here, you came to have a list of skill sets that you want to adopt. Those skill sets are dependent upon something more fundamental, which is your ability to change. Right? You have, and I don't know if this is controversial to say, but you have a 90-plus-year-old former prime minister who still breathes, who still rides, who still thinks, who still drives. You don't have the right to tell me, "Oh, pakcik dah tua."
You don't know anything. Ini dah sunset. Dah sunset. You are sunsetting already. But that's not quite true. I think Nas kata it has a lot to do with one's mindset. And I think the agility. Macam Nas, I know she was from banking before. Totally 180 degree dia pivot. I pun tak tahulah. Macam you pun, Nazrin, you know, it's almost to many degrees you pivot, you know. Even I don't know about the rest, like George. George is here. He just joined. Dia ni pun Mamat ni pun 180 degree pivot from whatever that he was doing for 20 odd years, and he came to Malaysia and he realized that Malaysia doesn't really want what he has brought along. So he has been a reluctant entrepreneur,
Right.
for the past berbelas tahun, you know. I call him an entrepreneur, but he keeps on saying, you know, I'm the reluctant entrepreneur. I do what I have to do. So that's George, but I think he does really well in whatever his reluctance.
I like what Nasi said about mindset. If I can add a fifth one, it is the ability to reprogram yourself.
I like
so
that.
If you say, "Oh, I'm a very technical person, I cannot do this," so we have a couple of choices. We can say, "Yes, I agree with you. Goodbye."
Yeah, agree.
But you have a brain, and the brain is plastic. and it can learn new things. It can try new things. Yeah, there are people on the internet in the 60s and 70s going for free Google certifications, learning how to code. And these people have no technical background whatsoever. The human brain,
whether you want it or not.
Allah did not create you to be an accountant or a banker or an architect or an engineer or a soft skills trainer or a road sweeper, whatever. You use your brain to be able to do that. But you can also bake. You can also do aerobics. You can do, you have the ability to do things. If you just create that bubble around you, you created that bubble.
Yes, and you're right. And you're right. Right? If you think you're going to fail, you're right. You are going to fail anyway. So it starts with you.
You think of that, you cannot. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you're right as well. I also think that there are also Nazrin, we have another 6 more minutes. I just want to address 2 more things. I know the conversation is like really warm ni, but I also wanted to address one thing here about businesses. There are so many businesses who are also wanting to upskill, but they don't know what, and also they want to retain, but they don't know how. I think by providing upskilling in all of this, skills, the technology, using technology, new skills of, actually it's not new lah, adaptability and all that, it's a skill, whether they realize it or not. So my question is, what's your advice to businesses who still don't know what to upskill, if given one skill to ready their workforce for the future? What would it be?
Okay, so caveat, I started doing business on the 1st of January 2023. I don't believe I have the right standing to advise people who run businesses. Yeah. At the same time, I think another perspective is important to have.
Yes.
What are you already good at?
Yes.
Okay, what are you already good at? Use as a foundation, as a stepping stone to build up derivatives. So if you are good at, say, Excel, Microsoft Excel, let's talk about the training industry. You're good at Microsoft Excel and everything related to it. Do you have a database of people who use Microsoft Excel? Can you contact them to upsell other things that you can have another trainer that you say, okay, people know us for Microsoft Excel training. Would you like us to cross-sell your stuff as well? But can it be out or too far? Is there something closer to that? Microsoft Excel. Can we teach dashboarding? Can we teach what can Microsoft Excel do? Can we teach, I don't know, drawing with Microsoft Excel? There's a guy online who actually paints using Microsoft Excel, which is weird.
Seriously.
Yes. The idea is, what is the stuff that you're pretty good at?
Yeah.
Do not experiment if you don't have a foundation, because you still need to feed your family, you still need to feed your
otherwise semua orang makan Maggi.
Semua makan Maggi. So experiment and R&D fast.
Yeah.
Identify what works and doesn't work very quickly.
Right.
So how many people know, when the pandemic hit, I launched 4 things, but only the VLC survived. Yeah?
That was quick for you to learn, right?
I launched 4 things. I launched a 20-day, 20-hour course teaching everything that I teach to clients. I only got like 20 people there, so fine. I launched a breakaway, which was how do you market yourself online. Died an immediate death, and then VLC just kept going.
Yeah.
Right? So don't be sentimental. And guess what? After that, I could still sell the other 2.
Now, talking about your new program, Nazrin, I would like you to share with our friends here and our friends outside there. I know you have new programs, well, new and not so new programs for the year. Share lah sikit.
Okay, long story short, I've created 2 academies, which is weird because I don't have a space, but it's an online academy, right? So now we can do anything we want. One is specifically for professional work skills, and professional work skills are communication skills that you need for yourself and your people. Okay, so how do you communicate with yourself? How do you manage your own discipline? How do you communicate with other people? How do you influence large numbers of people? It is not technical stuff. It's all just communication skills. But they talk about critical thinking and creative thinking. How does that work? You communicate with yourself. That's thinking lah. Okay?
Wow.
So I have 28 of these workshops, and 6 of them have done really well in 3 different countries. And I want to give it away. I want other trainers to be able to use that proven success, take the course and teach it to your clients. And I'm not charging a license. You know
So
how
generous.
no. It's not generosity. It is just I hate it when people do that to me. I go for certificate. Every year I have to renew license fee. So I hate it when people do that to me. I refuse to do that to people. You come,
I agree.
go and take it. It belongs to you. You want to change the title of the course? You want to change the design of the course? Go, it's up to you. But I request for the first year, don't change the title of the course because there's no market. Use that. Then later on, you change it, it's up to you. That's I call them facilitator certifications. I don't call them TOT or TTT because that's the same as everybody else. I do something different now.
Yalah. Nazrin always doing
I
a bit different kind.
in my workshops lah.
Yalah.
Right, that's one.
Okay.
And during the pandemic, I suddenly got a new target audience, which is trainers and educators.
Right.
So now I've launched the Academy for Learning Professionals, which has 9 workshops, which includes instructional design, learning facilitation, functional competencies, competency frameworks, learning assessment design. I can't remember all of them. So there's 9. There's 9 workshops. But this year we're doing 6 public workshops, in person and so I'm starting to move more towards helping the learning professional community, whether it's L&D people or trainers or course designers. So I'm sharing my methodology, teach it to them so they can. So the first time facilitator certification to turn you into a facilitator of my workshops, which now becomes yours. And the second one is L&D skills.
Excellent. I think you can take those skills anywhere in the world.
Yes, on this planet.
Yes. See, that's very generous of you. Semoga rezeki you dimurahkan lagi, Nazrin.
Amin.
Amin. Okay, how can people reach out to you?
My name is Nazrin. Go to nazrin.com.
There you go, nazrin.com. So guys, we have reached to 1 o'clock. My goodness, very cepat hari ini. Thank you so much, Nazrin, for your sharing hari ini. I prepared something like gazillion question, but I think we have discussed the fundamentals which have been really useful. I think those questions really makes up all of the questions that I wanted to ask today. And I think those are the basics, the fundamentals that we have to, kind of master. And I think, what your thoughts on what is required to stay relevant, despite the fact that we have some of the skill set, is agility, focus. And the third one is we still haven't translated it to English. Izinkan diri ditegur, is that right?
Izinkan diri ditegur.
Izinkan diri ditegur. Allow yourself to be.
Ask for feedback and allow yourself to be criticized.
Yeah, to receive the feedback. I suppose it depends on who gives you feedback.
No, don't choose.
No, not true.
Just give me. I write down. I'll cry for a while, and then when I feel better, I'll look at it again. And then I'll read it without emotion.
Ayo.
But being prepared to receive feedback means you will feel it. You'll feel offended, you'll feel sad, you'll feel depressed, you'll feel it. Yeah. But feeling it is part of the process.
Yeah. And you need to want it lah, I suppose. If you don't want to hear the answer, then don't ask lah kan.
That's why izinkan.
Izinkan. So you allow yourself. Okay. And the fourth is radar. And number 5 is the ability to reprogram. Yeah, to
Don't be
unlearn and
sentimental.
relearn. Correct. Okay, so those of you who wants to connect with Nazrin, if you haven't really connected with Nazrin, please do so. I will post up this video in my YouTube channel. And I also wanted to say thanks to everyone. You guys are here today with God's grace. We have so many who are registered, but I can understand today is Hari Shopping Day for those who is in Kuala Lumpur, you know, like Freedom Day. But before I leave, I wanted to also share today is a day where I personally, with the help of my dear business partner, husband, friend, George, who has helped me to relaunch my website. So it is not dragonfire.com.my, but it is careerconversations.com.my. So I'm going to just quickly share this particular piece of information. There you go. It's careerconversations.com.my. It's soft launch, still in its beta stage. I would say we are still mencantikkan benda tu.
It is already.
Yeah,
it's
we're updating the website sort of page by page and going through the learning lessons about SEO, search engine optimization, and the whole 9 yards. So some parts may not be available, or what you see today may not be what you see tomorrow. So please bear with us for the next little while we iron out all the bugs and get things looking as pretty as they should.
Yeah. So we have this sharp learning curve to a few things. I certainly have to revisit a few skills that I left quite a while ago, and rediscovering something that I used to do, which is writing. For some reason, I left writing, my passion in writing, for a few years. I don't know why. So I'm rediscovering, Nazrin. Hopefully, you know, with the help of AI. No, actually, that's not quite true. My real AI has always been George. So
George,
I have the George.
I don't know whether to be offended or to be or to feel happy about that. My intelligence is certainly not artificial, but I know what you're saying, dear.
Yes. Oh. But I have the I would say the advantage of having the best proofreader in the world. So you know, I write something that I think is readable, and when it goes to George, he said, "Oh dear, I have edited it," and it looks like, wow, cantiknya. So there you go. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope to see all of you again, and hopefully offline. Again, enjoy the weekend, not weekend, see? Enjoy the holiday. Yeah, it feels like weekend lah. And no, no. All right then. So see you guys, and enjoy the holidays. Thank you.
Bye everyone. Assalamualaikum.
Bye-bye.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Salam. Bye-bye.
Bye.